Hello everyone. Welcome to Harsh's classes. Today we'll be learning all about the wars of British in India. So let's start. It's all started with the Carnatic Wars. So the first Carnatic War was between 1746 and 1748. It was between French and English, as we all know, and French won this with the Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle 1748. The second Carnatic War 1749 to 54 we can say it as the war of succession because both the Nawabs of, we can say, Nizam of Hyderabad and the Nawab of Carnatic had died. So it was just a war of succession. Initially, the French had succeeded in placing both their contenders in the thrones, but under Robert Clive, the British captured Arcot, which led for additional victories of the British. So this was won by English. Third Carnatic War, which was between 1756 to 63. It ended with the Treaty of Paris, and it was between French and English, and obviously English won. And English decisively defeated the French at the Battle of Wandiwash. So we can say that they were defeated at the Battle of Wandiwash. Now, the Third Carnatic War also happened in the real mainland of France and England, which is in Europe. So in India, it was a result of that only. Now comes the next part, the Conquest of Bengal, which is very important as the Conquest of Bengal had two wars. The Battle of Plassey in 1757, it was between Siraj-ud-Daulah and Robert Clive from the EEIC. So Robert Clive won. What happened? That Siraj-ud-Daulah stopped everything. His the father of Siraj-ud-Daulah, Ali Bardi Khan, was ruling over the state. So the state faced huge losses. So when Siraj-ud-Daulah ascended the throne and became the king, he stopped everything. He checked on the misuse of the trade privileges given to the EEIC in 1717. So he puts the check and he removed all English officials and he captures Calcutta. And Calcutta was placed in the hands of Manik Chand. So Robert Clive was sent from Madras to Kolkata so that he can capture it. So Robert Clive won, and this was the first battle in Bengal. The next one is Battle of Buxar, 1764. So we knew. So when the Battle of Plassey went, there was a traitor named Mir Jafar. So with the help of Mir Jafar, Robert Clive won the war. So when Mir Jafar was played, EIC continued to make heavy monetary demands, which Mir Jafar was unable to meet. So they removed Mir Jafar and placed Mir Qasim. So this was all. So when Mir Qasim got to know that he is just under the shadows of the British officials, so he collided with Shuja-ud-Daulah, the Nawab of Awadh, and Shah Alam II, the Mughal emperor, and fought a war with the English East India Company, which ended with the Treaty of Allahabad in 1765. So it was all that EEIC obviously won it, and then Mir Jafar was reinstalled as the puppet Nawab. The next comes the Mysore Wars. So the first Anglo-Mysore War treaty, it was the Treaty of Madras. It ended 1769. So what happened? That EEIC, along with Nawab of Carnatic, Marathas, and the Nizam of Hyderabad, wanted to attack Hyder Ali, the tiger, the Mysore. That is, he was the commandant of the army of Mysore, and Mysore was ruled by the Vodiyar family. But later on, slowly Hyder Ali took it in his control. So later on, Hyder Ali brought Marathas and Nizam of Hyderabad to his side. So it was between EIC, Nawab of Carnatic versus Marathas, Nizam, and Hyder Ali. So obviously Maratha, Nizam, and Hyder Ali won it, and they forced the English to sign the Treaty of Madras, by which they agree to respect each other's territories and help each other in case of any attack by a third party. So it was between Hyder Ali and the English East India Company. So second Anglo-Mysore War comes into the picture now. What happened that English had violated the Treaty of Madras and did not help Hyder Ali or Mysore when the Marathas attacked them. So it was between EIC and versus Hyder Ali. So there was no result for it, but we can say that both of them signed the Treaty of Mangalore in 1784, saying that both of them will respect each other's territory. Now comes the third Anglo-Mysore War. So it was between English East India Company and Tipu Sultan. So what happened in the second Anglo-Mysore War? Hyder Ali dies fighting it, but his son Tipu continues it. So it was between EIC and Tipu. Tipu lost the war and had to pay a large of his territories. So it ended with the Treaty of Seringamapatnam in 1792. And then came the fourth Anglo-Mysore War. In this, Lord Wellesley asked Tipu to accept the subsidiary alliance, for which the British had attacked mostly the Marathas, Mysore, Bengal, and everything. So Tipu denies, and they both have the battle, Fourth Anglo-Mysore War, which Tipu lost it, and Lord Wellesley won. So some part of his territory was given to the Nizam of Hyderabad, and the rest part was given to the old Vodiyar family, which was ruling previously and had accepted the subsidiary alliance. Next come the Maratha Wars. So the first Anglo-Maratha War, it ended with the Treaty of Salwai in 1782. So it was between Raghunath Rao, EIC, and the Marathas. So Raghunath Rao and EIC were in the same party. Why this happens? Because after the death of the fifth Peshwa, his uncle Raghunath Rao wanted to ascend the throne, but all the Marathas opposed it. So this was why this was there, and it did not came with any result. But we say that Raghunath Rao won because Raghunath Rao got the throne. Then comes the second Anglo-Maratha War, which ended with the Treaty of Bassein, which was between EIC and Scindias and Bhosles. So obviously the winner was English East India Company. And the third Anglo-Maratha War, it was between the EIC and all the five Marathas, that was Scindias, Bhosles, Peshwas, Holkars, and Gaikwad. So this was all. And the last one, Anglo-Sikh Wars. There are many of them, but the main one was first Anglo-Sikh War, in which it ended with the Treaty of Lahore. It was when, after the death of Maharaja Ranjit Singh, and also the Sikh army tried to cross the Satluj River to occupy Lahore. So the British defeated them, and that was this. So this was all about the wars of British in India. And the another one, the most important one, is the revolt of 1857, which we will be talking about in the upcoming video. So until then, stay safe, stay healthy.